Beautiful, ethereal, and powerful, Fortuna Maxima is everything you've wished for and more. Since 2013, she has enthralled audiences across Queensland, with appearances at Vanguard Burlesque, the Bombshells Ball, Cult the Show, Brisbane Festival, the Australian Burlesque Festival, and in 2022, she achieved the title of Mixed Burlesque Queensland. Welcome back to the Burlesque Bulletin podcast. I'm your host, Honey Holloway, and today we are here with Fortuna Maxima.
Hello.
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
I'm going great. How are you?
Good. You're looking so incredible.
Thank you so much.
I was saying before, the green and the purple is like such a vibe.
Yeah, I was watching some of your older videos and I was like, what's the set like? What should I wear? I don't know what I'm going to like roll up in. Yeah. And then I just went ham.
Well, you did really well. We've got the purple lighting happening, so it's like it's complementing you beautifully. So before we get into all the burlesque questions, I love to ask my guests what's their zodiac sign. So do you know yours?
I absolutely do. I got my chart done for me by Mara Maraschino. Oh. This was it would have been like 2017.
Oh my
she was
God.
like a party at her house. I was on her bed. She was like, let me do your chart.
Love it.
So I've got all the inside info thanks to Mara.
Awesome. And what's your sun? Do you remember?
I do. Yeah. So I like to think of myself as like either a Pisces or like a Sagittarius sandwich. So my rising and my sun are a Sagittarius.
Yep.
And then I've got a Pisces moon.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I love a Pisces moon.
Me too. There's quite a few of us around, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I feel like it's
Taurus?
Yeah, I'm a Taurus. Yeah, so Taurus sun, Scorpio moon, and Scorpio rising.
Oh, hot! Amazing.
Yeah.
I've got I've got a Scorpio Venus.
Oh, love it.
I've got a few Scorpio placements hanging about.
Love it. Yeah, I'm like, I always. How do I say this? I like gravitate towards my Scorpio a little bit more. I think like if you look in my chart, it's like a bit of a seesaw. Like one side is a lot of Taurus and then one side is a lot of Scorpio. And I think it just dips in Scorpio a little bit more. So I relate more to Scorpio. But then I'm like, I'm such a Taurus in so many different ways. I'm like multifaceted, of course.
Yeah, we contain multitudes.
Exactly. So tell us about your journey and how you got into burlesque.
Well, I went to NAM. I would have been about 18 with my then partner and a friend of ours, and we were going to the bookstore's called Hares and Hyenas. I don't know if it's in the same location anymore. It's like a really cute little queer bookstore.
Okay.
But across the road there was this venue called the Burlesque Bar, and we were like, what's that about? Let's come back later in the evening. And we did. And the two performers, they had an MC. I can't remember who the MC is, but the two performers were Strawberry Siren and Bijou Bell, and from that moment I was like, I need to do this. I can't not be doing this.
What year was that?
2012, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would have been like August. Then I came back home, and then like just saw Bombshells were doing the Bombshells Ball, went along to one of those, and then started classes, and here we are now.
Love it.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been around the same time that I sort of fell in love with burlesque as well. Or I saw, 2012, like right when I finished high school or was finishing high school. And yeah, it was around the same time. And I was like, oh my God, what is this?
I know. Yeah, it's one of those things that like you see hints of it throughout like pop culture and other sort of media, I don't know, zeitgeisty things. But then, like, you go and see it in the wild, and you're like, "Oh my God, I need to know more."
Yeah, definitely, it draws you in.
It does, yeah.
So, how would you describe yourself in 5 words?
5 words. Let's go. Beautiful, ethereal, devastating. Sorry.
I love devastating. That was excellent.
I just took them straight from my red carpet from like 2 years ago. I was like, well, I've got 3 ready.
Yep.
The other 2, let's go mysterious enigma.
Beautiful.
Sort of the same thing, but with 2 different words, so we can get away with it.
And I've been wanting to know this. How did you choose your stage name?
So I had a couple of like false starts, and I was sitting in traffic one day, and there was a Nissan Maxima in front of us. And I was like, that could work. I'll figure some other name and like put it next to that, and I've got a name, I guess.
Okay. And how did you come up with Fortuna?
I don't remember, actually. Someone told me that there is like a type of car called like a Fortuna. I don't know.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not a car person. So
Yeah,
I don't
okay,
know
me neither, so
for
I can tell you.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, cool.
Like that sounds right. I don't know.
I guess that's true. Yeah, the Fortuna part, I don't remember where that came from. It could have been from like a friend or... Yeah, it's funny. I don't remember where that part of the name... The Maxima part I absolutely remember, but Fortuna...
That's so interesting because it is so like individual. Like
yeah, I don't think there's another Fortuna or a Maxima out there, which is
exactly
kind of crazy to think
it's
about.
iconic. I love it.
Thank you.
I thought it would be like, you know, like fortune, like reading someone's fortune, or like that sort of mystical element, which I feel like you give off like that mysterious sort of like vibe. So I'm like, that fits so perfectly. But it's funny that you didn't even intentionally like mean to do it. It was just meant to be. It just came.
It's just meant to be. Yeah,
love it.
I'll have to think about where that the Fortuna part came from, because I have a feeling I was going to call, or I had like an idea to be like something fortune at one point.
Okay.
And then I think I just saw that car and I was like, I'll just
swap
them around.
Yeah.
And maybe that's how that came about.
Yeah, love it.
You'd think I would know.
Yeah. It's just a part of you now. You don't need to remember.
Exactly. I was like, it's irrelevant.
Yeah. So, who's been some of your burlesque inspiration?
Oh my God, there's so many.
I know, right?
A couple of international ones. Michelle L'Amour is my, I think, all-time favourite burlesque performer. I think she's extraordinary. Pearl Noir has been another massive influence. I saw her, I think it was 2013 ABF. She came out for that, and it just, I mean, that was an incredible lineup. Like, there was Banbury Cross, Captain Kidd, Roxy Delight was on the bill as well. Oh my God, that was just an incredible, like that was one of the best shows I've seen. But Pearl was incredible. Like I remember watching her and being like, oh my God.
Excellent.
Yeah, she's got the magic in her. Like there's just something, like when you watch her, it's just, I mean, like I can't even articulate how I feel. Like it's just magic. Yeah, it really is. Like she's just extraordinary. Those are the two people that have sort of immediately come to my mind. Classic burlesque, Sherry Britton.
I don't think I know.
I don't think there's a lot of footage of her, but she was very... I think a lot... I was looking at a photo of her the other day, and I think I've modelled a little of my facial expressions on like photos I saw of her. But she had very long, beautiful dark hair. I think she wore a lot of panel skirts. Apparently she used to brush her hair on stage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's stunning, beautiful.
Okay, I'll have to check her out.
Yeah, definitely do.
See if I can see the Fortuna in her.
Yeah. Otherwise, Delia Rose is incredible.
Of course, yeah.
Betty Bombshell, Lila Lux locally, Jacqueline Fury. I mean, there are so many people. And I feel very lucky that I've done burlesque for, I think, like 12 years now. And I've just been able to see so many different performers from, you know, all over the world. And having the internet has really helped, you know, connect with different people and explore and see what else is going on. So there's been a lot of different like influences, like both locally, nationally, and then internationally as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
So what about your creative process? Is it chaotic or is it like 1, 2, 3, 4? How does it go?
I like to think about, I don't know if it's a, I feel like a bit of a ship in the wind in the sense that like if there's no wind, like it's just dead in the water. But the minute the wind hits, like I can't do anything else. Like it's all consuming. It's very, but like it's one of those things where it's like I don't know what is going to spark that. Usually it will be a piece of music. Yeah. I'll hear, like for one of my acts, I was listening to like the song on the bus. And then I was like, okay, I know what I need to do. And I was like, okay, this is what my costume's going to look like. This is how I can see the choreography being mapped out. And the music really helps inform all the next parts of the process, for me at least. What's your kind of approach?
I'm the same.
Are you a music person?
Yeah, usually music first. Because, I don't know, when you hear the music, you just sort of visualize everything.
Yeah, you do.
But if it starts off as like a costume or a concept, I feel like it is more of a bit of a puzzle, where I feel like music just makes it like a whole, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but yeah, I think for a lot of people it is that music and that just like inspiration that you can't really put into words. So
yeah, absolutely.
I
you get
that.
like a feeling or a vibe or some sort of like stimulus that makes you want to just like, I have to make this thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I've got to do it.
Yeah. So what does a normal day look like for you?
Ooh, normal day. I'm very lucky. I work from home.
Okay.
And I work with my partner, so that's it's doubly nice. But I do a lot of admin stuff for him, so I'll be looking at emails, doing invoices, like all the stuff that he hates but I love. So it works out quite well for us.
And for those of everyone who's watching who don't know, who is your partner and what does he do?
Oh, yes.
That's relevant.
Partner, yeah, it is very relevant. So my partner is Stephen May. He's a local lighting designer, event technician. He does a lot of work both in burlesque and then theatre, corporate, almost like anything and everything, like fun runs. Oh, he'll do random. Fun runs as well.
Okay.
I know, yeah, I was like, are they during the day? Like,
yeah, do they need?
Okay. But then again, they've got audio and stuff, so there's a lot of, he's got his hands in multiple different pots, and he does amazing work. Like it's so interesting because we met just as he finished his degree. So in the we've been together for about 6 years. So watching his career progress from when we first met to now is just amazing to see how much he's grown, and I feel so lucky.
Yeah, he is amazing. Like,
oh, we're so lucky.
So good. Anyways, back to you. What's your pre-show routine or ritual, if you have one?
I don't have like a strict one, but I do like to block out a couple of hours at least, because I do tend to waste time.
Okay, procrastinate
yeah, and also I've got a very poor sense of time management generally. So I figure with a couple of hours, if something goes wrong, hopefully there's time to fix it.
Yeah, you can troubleshoot.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep.
So I'll give myself like a couple of hours. I like to get ready at home versus, I mean, we don't usually get ready at venues anyway. Unless there's space and time that we can do that, but it's unusual. So I've just gotten into the habit of getting ready at home.
It's less stress too.
It really is, yeah. There's something quite comforting about getting ready at home and then going out and getting into the venue and doing whatever you need to do at the venue. But yeah, usually I like to give myself enough time to get myself ready, get to the venue, and then if there's anything like, sometimes I'll leave like little bits and pieces, like putting on lashes or, these sort of like final touches, or like if I'm wearing a wig, I'll put that on when I'm at the venue. Actually, no, not always.
Oh, really?
Sometimes I'll just put it on beforehand. Just one extra.
I've never tried a wig thing to yet, so I'm like, I feel like
I have a love-hate relationship. Like my natural hair is very fine, thin, straight. Cannot be coaxed into any sort of shape whatsoever. So wigs are a lifesaver for, preparing, because I don't have to wrangle my hair into something that it doesn't want to do. But I don't like things on my head. So it's a very difficult,
I feel like I would be like that as well. I'd be like, oh, like the pressure or like the feel of something, I'd be like, I'd probably want to do it like right before and then be like, get this thing off me. Yeah,
it is very much a thing of like, when I'm wearing a wig, I have to be very like, okay, I've got to put it on my head. Like I have to talk myself into it, which is very silly because it's just a hair hat basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Stephen May Productions are a Mianjin-based lighting design and production hire company specialising in burlesque, cabaret, theatre and circus. SMP is dedicated to elevating production for fringe arts projects in unique venues and spaces, as well as upscale production in traditional venues. Founded with the specific purpose to create lighting designs and shows that are both flexible for interstate and international touring, as well as eye-catching to inspire connection between artist and audience. With a wealth of experience specific to cabaret and burlesque scenes, Stephen also provides remote lighting design services, so wherever you are, he's able to elevate your event. Get in touch via our Instagram or website to get started today.
What's been one of your favourite highlights throughout your burlesque career?
Ooh, God, that's a really good question. I think the immediate one is competing in Mixed Burlesque Queensland a couple of years ago. I was very hesitant to do competitions.
Yeah.
And I've always I was like, oh, I'm not really a competitive person, and I don't know if this is for me. But doing the competition, I realised, like, you know, that doesn't actually matter. Like, it was such a great experience, both in terms of like the day itself and then on the lead up, because it was really a great opportunity to work on something new, because I ended up making a new act for that show, and then working on an existing act, which I'm still working and developing on, and I will be doing it Mixed Masters in...
Yes, very exciting.
I was going to say in Queensland. It is in Queensland, but it's in January too.
Yes, that's very exciting.
Date and location.
So what about some not so great moments or some malfunctions?
Oh, mate. Okay. The next year, I was very happy and proud to win the title in 2022.
Yes.
And I got the privilege of handing over the title to Martini McFly. Unfortunately, during my handover act, I fell off. I was doing a chair dance, and I had to like hoist my legs up over onto the back of the chair, but I overcooked it a bit and just sort of swung off, which was like unfortunate for me, but also kind of convenient because I had to get down on the floor anyway. So I just took the express route down to the floor.
You just skipped a step, you know?
Yeah, literally. I was like, well, we're here now. But hey, like we recovered. It's fine.
Yeah, for sure.
We moved on.
Has there been anything else?
Oh, I remember. Maybe it was at the Wickham. It was like a few years ago. But I was doing floor work and I nearly rolled off their outdoor stage. Okay. So that was unfortunate. I think it's just like there's mistakes where I had a very strange experience. This was during Ivana DeLune's tour, where my left-hand fan, I don't know what happened, but it felt like it should have been in my right hand.
Oh.
It just sort of like inverted. I have no idea like how or why that happened, but it was very uncomfortable. And I was like, I can't do anything about it now. So
yeah. I'm sure it still looked, you know, fabulous and stuff.
We can only hope.
Yeah. So what's a surprising lesson that you've had to learn or a challenge that you've had to overcome?
Oh man, there's been so many. The one that comes to my mind is, I think part of the, because I haven't done burlesque consistently since I started, in terms of like, you know, it hasn't been like show, like there's been, you know, life gets in the way, that kind of thing.
Definitely.
But I think something I have been thinking about a lot recently is, I think in burlesque there's this assumption that you need a lot of confidence to do it, or that when you're confident you can do it. But like everything, confidence is something that ebbs and flows, and there's no... it's an ongoing challenge for everyone. It's something that you need to, you know, come back to revisit. And I think that's definitely true. And not only that, but when you start out, the performer you are is very different to the performer that you eventually become. And there were a lot of things that I'm glad I didn't do. And there are some things that I'm like, damn, I should have done, you know, this particular thing earlier.
Yeah.
So there's a sort of like a mix of like relief and regret.
Yeah.
When you look back on ideas and choices, and I guess the progression of like your artistry, being like, well, you know, maybe it was a good decision to not do this particular thing at that time, and maybe, you know, not doing that would have worked out differently. Yeah. So yeah, it's a
I feel like
it's evenly balanced thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's always like, I don't know, whenever it's meant to happen, it's meant to happen. Yeah. So even if you have this like great act idea for like a billion years, and you're accumulating pieces, or, you know, maybe you just have it in your head for like so long, and then right at the last minute, you know, after 10 years or something, you're like, okay, now I'm doing this one. Like, I feel like it's just meant to happen when it's meant to happen. That's something really, you've touched on something really great here, because I think there's a lot of
pressure to develop your repertoire very early, but it's something that happens over years. Like you need time. There's a lot of time is a luxury, but if you end up doing burlesque for a long period of time, you do end up accumulating not only costume pieces and acts, but just like general accessories and bits and bobs that can then find a new life on stage. Or maybe there's an act you used to have that ends up becoming something entirely different. Just the letting go of the pressure to have everything figured out from the get-go, because no one knows what they're doing at any given point. I think.
For sure. And I think it's really important to like really love whatever act you're doing at that point in time, because I feel like I've developed certain acts that at the time I was like, oh my god, I love this so much, it's so me, and then literally like a month later I'm like, oh, I can never do that act again, it's not me anymore, because I'm like changing.
Really?
Yeah. So sometimes it happens really rapidly, and then sometimes I'm like my second act that I just did, I'm like, I've had that act in my brain for 10 years.
Really?
And it's only now that I've like everything's come together.
Is this your little hand one?
Yeah, it is.
I love it.
Yeah. So
I love that.
I've loved that song for so long, and like, yeah, I was like, now it's time, and I feel like everything came together.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, and I'm like, if I developed it before it was ready, it would have probably just been a nightmare, or like not a nightmare, but I just wouldn't have felt as confident, or like all the pieces wouldn't have come into place, if that makes sense. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I totally get that.
And I think having the depending on like what acts you love in your repertoire, like taking the time to keep developing them and revisiting them and updating them as the years go by is a really both like useful thing, but also you pour a lot of love, money, time, array of other things into creating a piece or an act, or because the costume is very much a part of what we do, and whether someone else makes it or like you make your costume, there's a lot of like time and love that goes into that process. So being able to come back, revisit it, keep those pieces, love them for as long as you can, and then if there's no longer something that you feel suits you, or you don't want to do the act anymore, being able to like pass those pieces on is really special too. I think
definitely. And then it like the next person can take it and it has like a new life.
It does, yeah. Cool. It's amazing how like you'll see someone do. I just thought of Lenore Noir's pineapple costume, which she had for many years, which I think Frenchie now owns, and that's got another new life, which is really exciting.
And both so amazing in their different ways, like showcasing it. Yeah.
Very different performers with the same costume and then making something completely different, which is, I love that. Yeah,
it shows how individual burlesque can be, like the same outfit, but like so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. If you could choose someone to share a dressing room with, who would it be?
Ooh, I'm very socially anxious, so I find it very hard it takes me a long time to warm up backstage. But there's many people I've enjoyed sharing backstage spaces with. Mara Maraschino is one of them. She's wonderful. Clara Cupcakes is great. Lenore, like I mentioned before. Busybody's wonderful as well. There's lots of just like really fun and interesting people in burlesque. And I feel like backstage, because like that's sort of the unless like you're in the audience, I don't know what I'm saying. Hang on. Let me walk that back a bit. I was like, where's my brain going? I don't know.
Happens to the best of us.
I think what I'm trying to say is like those backstage conversations are where you really get to know people.
Yeah.
And, you get to know a bit more about their lives and like what they're about. And then those conversations end up being, the beginnings of really lovely friendships.
Yes,
so
definitely.
it's really like lovely to get to know people. And something I love about burlesque is how varied our backgrounds are. Because when I started when I was like 18, and I just sort of really just become an adult. And I'd met people from all different like ages, and with kids with these very like different jobs, from very different backgrounds from mine. So just being able to like meet all these really fascinating people, especially when I was like very young, I think has really helped. I don't know if it might make me a better person. Maybe that's too much, but like it's helped.
I feel like that's accurate. Yeah. That's sweet.
It's definitely helped to, you know, challenge or like keep me challenging a lot of assumptions I have about the world or the way things had to be. You know, I remember watching a video, I think it was like Camille 2000, but it was from like the Beehoff Legends night. And she rolled, I don't know how old she would have been, she'd have been like 60s or 70s, but she rolled out on like a motorcycle. And seeing that at like 19 and being like,
wow.
Because there's always, particularly for women, like I know like, you know, no one can really escape ageism, but I think women are particularly encouraged to, you know, stop being themselves at a certain point.
Stay young.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're not young by,
yeah,
it seems to be the kind of, unfortunately that still seems to be kind of the vibe.
Yeah.
But there's lots of people pushing back against that, and, you know, seeing all these, you know, burlesque legends still taking the stage in their like 60s and 70s, like that.
And also being really, like as like better than what they were when they were younger. Like they're still developing their skills and like everything like that. So yeah, I definitely see.
Oh, you know what? That's another career highlight I just thought of. Yeah. I was very lucky and got to perform on the bill with Satan's Angel a few years ago.
Oh my God, wow.
It was so exciting.
That's so cool.
Oh, I just had that flashback. I was like, oh, I love that.
That is awesome. That would definitely be a highlight. Wow. If you could swap lives with anyone for a day, who would it be?
God, that is a really good question. Maybe someone like, it's funny, I'm drawing a blank. I actually don't know if I would swap my life with anyone else.
I love that answer though.
Yeah, I was like, actually, do I want to like switch myself around with someone else? It would be fun.
It would only be for a day though.
This is true. Let's go Jacqueline Fury. I don't know what she does.
Okay. That would be epic.
I saw her on the wall. I was like, yeah, all right.
If you could only perform to one song ever again, what would it be?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Hardest question.
Man, probably my fan dance song, which is Ultraviolet by FKA Twigs. I'm a massive fan of FKA Twigs. You know what? I would swap lives with FKA Twigs.
Oh, that's a good answer. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I love you, Jacqueline, but I also love FKA Twigs. Yeah. I'd love to know what she's about.
For sure.
And she's got incredible dance skills. So
yeah. I'll have to check it out.
Have you seen the video for You Sexua? Dude, you
have to send it to me.
I absolutely will. It's unreal. There's like it's like a 7-minute video, but the first 3 minutes, it's like 2 songs in one. I think the first song is different, but there's this amazing like chair dance. They're in like an office space. Dude, it's
that sounds cool.
You're gonna love it.
What's some great advice that you've received and some bad advice?
Oh, bad advice. I don't think I've ever been like led astray.
Okay, that's good.
But I think like the advice you get when you start burlesque, you add nuance and figure out ways to. The piece of advice that I think we tell beginners is to like not look down at the floor or like turn your back to the audience, and that's really great advice in and of itself. But I think you can figure out ways to make that interesting. The more you perform, the more you practice.
Yes.
For me, like if I turn my back towards the audience, that's part of the tease. You know, it's sort of like I'll look away and be like,
yeah.
But there is advice that you get when you start out, and it's there for a reason. You know, because like the crown of your head is not the most interesting part of you.
yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah, I definitely see what you mean by that, because I feel like with anything, you've got to start with the basics.
Yes.
And then you can sort of cross the line. Like,
yeah,
if that
absolutely.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, you learn the rules and then you break them.
Exactly. It's like with film, with like, you know, they're like, don't break the fourth wall. And then when you do, it's a creative choice.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
The same with burlesque. I feel like, you know, you got to have that creative choice and not just accidentally do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. A quick thanks to Cam Attry for sponsoring the Burlesque Bulletin, and for all his hard work behind the scenes, filming and editing the podcast. Cam has been involved in the burlesque industry for over 12 years through his photography and videography. If you are a performer looking to get promo photos and video, or a producer looking to get your show photographed or filmed, please contact Cam through his website, camattry.photography, or find him on Instagram at Cam Attry Photo Video. And now back to the episode. If you could travel back in time and talk to yourself when you started burlesque, what would you say?
Oh, I don't know. I think I'd just tell myself to keep going, because I had a lot of self-doubt. I still do. I don't think anyone's immune from that.
Yeah.
I think I had a lot of like, oh, I don't know if this is for me. I don't know, like, if I, like, am I good enough to be doing this? But, I'm still here, so.
Exactly.
Clearly
I'm
just
strong.
like, yeah, exactly. Regardless of whether or not I'm good enough, I'm still here. So that's very exciting to think about.
Yeah.
Because it's nice to just keep showing up and to commit to something and to give it a shot.
Love it.
Exactly, yeah, that's the thing as well. If you love something, even if you feel like you're not good at it, or you don't, you're looking at other performers and you're seeing the gap between where you are and where they are, and you want to be like, how do I get to like this stage?
Yeah.
The love is going to be the thing that keeps you coming back to these skills, and
Definitely.
I think that's the most important thing that you can sort of latch onto. When you have those moments of doubt or feeling, like, I don't know what I'm doing, that kind of uncertainty, being like, well, this is an experiment. We're going to give this a go. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and that's okay.
And then you can stop whenever you want.
Absolutely, yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, that's the other thing as well. Like, if burlesque is not for you, that's absolutely fine. But like, well done for giving it a go. Like,
exactly.
Try it out. Why not?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that leads into our next question. How do you overcome imposter syndrome?
Great question. I'm still figuring this out.
Yeah.
I like to think of my burlesque persona as kind of my permission slip, or a kind of protective figure. Yeah. So for, if I, like, it's a thing where it's like, Fortuna is me. Like, there's no, like, it's not like a character or something. But there is like a degree of separation where I feel like, that kind of persona can come in and be like, maybe you can do this.
Yeah.
Maybe this is possible. Why don't we try it this way? So it's been very useful to think of my stage persona like that, as being part of me but sort of separate as well.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I don't feel like I can always rely on myself to be kind to myself, or there's lots of habits that still come up for me, unfortunately. But I know Fortuna's there to be like, dude, don't even worry.
Yeah.
Like,
it's kind of like your higher self. Like, you still have all those doubts and stuff, but your higher self's like, no, get out there, you're gonna slay. Like,
yeah. And it's kind of the permission I give myself to just keep showing up anyway, even when I'm not feeling amazing, or I feel like there's another sort of gap in my skills. I'm like, oh my god, I feel like I've gone backwards, or I can step in and be like, chill, dude. You need to calm down.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you believe is your biggest strength when performing?
I think probably using stillness. For me, I think that's been...
You're so good at that.
Thank you. And I think I have to be, because I don't have a lot of crazy like skills I can whip out on stage.
Can't do a backflip on stage or anything.
I wish I could, man. That'd be freaking sick if I could.
That would be pretty cool. I wish I could do that.
Yeah, like I can't jump into the splits.
Yeah.
So I think developing like skills to be still on stage has been vital in my particular performance style, in terms of looking interesting on stage. Because I can't do high kicks, I can't do like crazy physical skills, but can stand still.
Yeah.
Can do that much.
It's intentional. It's beautiful and it's intentional.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, we talked about some of your weaknesses, but what would you like to work on, I guess, with those weaknesses?
I think I really want to, particularly for 2025, I'm not like a New Year's resolutions kind of person, but I think I just want to work on that feeling of like having doubt and then doing it anyway, or feeling uncertain and then giving it a go, and not being like because I think I'm quite a cautious person. Like as a kid, I didn't like doing risky shit. I'd watch other people do it and be like, is this for me? I don't know. Like, if they fall out of a tree, I ain't doing that. So I think like I'm very naturally like, I'll look before I leap. But that's a good thing. Like, I don't think that's I see that as like kind of a neutral trait rather than like a hindrance or something like
protective as well. Like there's a reason for that to be there, I guess.
Yeah, because like
keep you safe.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I can make quite impulsive, spontaneous decisions, but they often are not done with thought or care. So I know that the outcome is not going to be incredible.
Yeah. Okay.
It's going to be possibly a disaster.
Yeah.
Most likely a disaster.
What's a goal that you have for the future, whether that's 2025 or beyond?
I've recently started up as a tutor at Bombshell Burlesque Academy, and I think I really want to work on my teaching skills, really. Like, it's something that I never really thought I would do. But I've been very lucky to have the opportunity to do it, and I've found that I really enjoy it. So I really want to keep learning and refining those skills, and it's been a really great opportunity to meet lots of different people, kind of in the same way that when I was like a student. Actually, it's something I want to do. I want to go back and do more classes. I haven't done a class in a long, long time.
Oh, really?
Actually, it's not true. I did Cello Bordello's class in term 5 this year, which was wonderful, but I haven't consistently been a student.
Yeah, okay.
And I think I'd like to do...
Have you done workshops here and there?
Yeah, like here and there, but I think I do want to do a
actually
bit more development and just for myself.
Why not? Yeah, heck yeah. So we're going to play a game.
Okay, let's go.
Excited?
I'm so excited.
Okay. So it's called This or That. Obviously, you just choose your favourite.
Perfect, let's go.
Rhinestones or feathers?
Rhinestones.
C-string or G-string?
C-string, for sure. Love a C-string.
Really?
I do.
They scare me.
It's part of the thrill. I just think they're so, like, I don't know, I think that, I don't know if I can say the word. How's YouTube with swearing?
We'll bleep it out if we...
Okay. I think they're really cunty. Like, I love the...
I love that.
I think they just look really, I love the like strappy G-string.
Yeah.
But there's just something really like thrilling to me about, this piece of fabric just
it's like, is it going to fall off? I don't know, we'll find out.
It's part of the fun.
Yeah, exactly. Neo or classic?
Oh, I think Neo.
Okay.
I think Neo.
I feel like you bridge on the classic Neo.
I think I straddle that line. I've never done like outright classic before. A lot of my stuff is very like within that sort of neo framework. Landscape. I don't know. What other like random word can I just fish out of my brain today?
It makes sense. I knew what you meant.
Perfect.
Lace or leather?
Ooh, leather.
Tassels or assels?
Assels for sure.
You love assels?
I'm not a tassel twirler.
Really?
Yeah, it hurts my boobs. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's just been something that...
You just got more booty.
Exactly, yeah. I was like, at least my butt doesn't hurt when I do this. Yeah. Also, it's a fun surprise at the end of the act.
It is.
People are like, oh, we love it.
Yeah. Diamonds or pearls?
Diamonds.
Drag or burlesque?
Burlesque, for sure. I love drag, but I'm very inexperienced in the world of drag, so burlesque.
Stocking peels or stripper heels?
I want to combo this one in the same way that someone like... I think Ginger Tonic is like the perfect person. Like I've seen her wear like stockings and stripper heels at the same time, and it looks incredible.
Yeah,
so,
it looks even better when she takes them off.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, let's combo
equally
them.
As good. Yeah. Big stage show or intimate bar show?
God, this is a hard one. I love both. I'm probably more experienced with intimate shows, and there is something I think there is something really nice about the proximity to the audience in a more intimate setting. You can really like see people, whereas if you're doing a big stage, you can see the front couple of rows, but everyone else is kind of just like just the sea of people, which is lovely. It's very it's really exciting to see lots of people in an audience, but at the same time, it's very hard to find those points of connection.
Yeah.
When you can't see someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cabaret or comedy?
Comedy.
Movies or a TV series?
Movies, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite movie?
I do. It's The Thing.
The Thing?
Yeah, The Thing. I love The Thing.
My partner recently watched that and loved it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was sort of like
it.
half paying attention, so maybe I need to actually pay attention and watch it.
It's great.
If it's your favourite. Wow.
Yeah, get into it, man.
Early bird or night owl?
Ooh, night owl, for sure.
Sweet or savoury?
I love both.
Okay.
I will not deny either.
Halloween or Christmas?
Halloween.
And red or white wine?
Neither. I'm not a wine drinker.
Cocktails?
Ooh, I don't really drink a lot.
Okay.
But I have to say I don't mind a good espresso martini.
Of course.
They're pretty good.
I feel like that's the classic answer for most burlesque dancers, because it's like...
Yeah, you get your caffeine
exactly,
and your alcohol in,
yeah.
so you're not like...
It's the best combination.
You've got a bit of like pep in you.
Yeah, for sure. So what have you got coming up in the new year, and let everyone know where they can find you on socials?
Oh, absolutely. So I am very excited. I'm competing in Mixed Burlesque Masters.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the 18th of January, which is a Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the beautiful Princess Theatre.
I've already got my tickets. I'll be there.
Dude, I'm so excited. I kind of wish I wasn't in the show because I want to watch the show, because the lineup is
There's so
outrageous.
many amazing people.
There's 17 of us. Like, there's a lot.
That's
of
a
people.
lot, yeah.
And we're all fucking cool, so you should come see the show. And then a couple of weeks after that, I've also entered the Sparkling Diamond pageant.
Yes. That's exciting.
I was like, I don't
too.
do competitions. Like, however many minutes ago, I'm now like, I'm doing competitions.
Well, now you've won one. You can win them all.
Maybe. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited because it's, from what I understand, it's very different. Like, there's a lot more like roving audience interaction, or like direct audience interaction compared to what I've done previously. So that's going to be really exciting to see what we can do there.
For sure.
Also teaching classes,
Yes,
term one
bombshells.
next year. There's a fan dance class and a modern glamour class. We're doing some glove peels.
Nice.
So if that's your thing, come and join us.
Love it. And what's your Instagram?
It's Fortuna Maxima.
Okay, just one.
Yeah, just one word, my name.
Excellent. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm
This has
glad-
been so much fun.
Yes.
I've loved talking about burlesque.
Me too.
The thing I love, funnily enough.
Yes, I'm happy that we finally got to sit down, and because I feel like we've had so many little chats on Instagram.
Yeah, we have. There's
Yeah.
been a lot of little back and forth, but
Yeah.
it's nice to have like a good extended chat.
Definitely.
And I'm excited to see more from you as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Dude,
I know, I'll get
can't
to
wait.
it.
Take your time. Take your time. You've got all the time in the world.
Yeah. I mean,
No
I
stress.
have so many acts just in the works, as we all do all the time.
I know, there's always like 4 acts of progress, and then you're just like, I'll come back to those.
Yeah. And I keep swapping, being like, oh, I'm going to do this one. And then be like, oh, I found a shoe for this one or whatever. I found an outfit.
Yeah, you sort of
thing.
gradually get the pieces going
Yeah.
as time.
Because one's,
goes on.
like, the outfit is way more extravagant. So I'm like,
Ooh,
oh.
I can't wait
But then
to
the
see what that
choreo
looks
with
like.
the other one is more, like, I've finished more. So I'm like, it'll happen when it happens.
Exactly. There's lots of good things to look forward to.
Exactly. Yes. But anyways, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to our guest for being on the podcast and letting us take a peek behind the curtain of their lives. Thanks for everyone joining us, and we will see you in our next episode.